Right now, I'm joining with Canadian Minister Luke Randall, who is first time visiting India. He is Minister for Economic Development and Small Businesses for the Canadian province, New Brunswick. So, thank you so much, sir, for talking to India's largest TV network, TV9.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, is it your first visit to India?
This is my first visit to India, and I'm excited for the next visit. This is the first taste, so it's such a pleasure to be here and being here with my team on the ground. They've been here for several years now, so I'm really excited to be able to join them and be able to engage with the work that they're doing.
So let me ask you the first and most important question, which is why India?
Aditya Birla has a large mill in New Brunswick. It's a huge percentage of our exports. One of our companies, McCain India, is here on the ground. That's a massive French fry and potato flake manufacturer here in India. They started in New Brunswick. Those would probably be two of the larger success stories, but we have so many other smaller success stories and so much more traction in terms of trade. We're excited to grow. I'm here to bring investment, but also to attract investment. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth between India and New Brunswick, and there's so many advantages on the ground. I'm sure that when your viewers visit New Brunswick, they'll understand why we've had such a success and why we want to grow up more.
So what kind of opportunity you are looking from India, and then you can offer some opportunity for India?
Sure. So I think ICT Group would be a good example of a recent success. So they were able to leverage New Brunswick as a lower cost alternative to be able to reach an entire North American market. We're here trying to capture more businesses that want to explore North America, that want a wraparound service from a smaller province, a lower cost experience, to be able to hit that North American market and be able to expand in North America. So we're a really low barrier opportunity to start that exploration, and we're trying to find as many opportunities to bring to New Brunswick, to bring to Moncton, St. John, Fredericton, to be able to explore that larger market.
The interesting thing is, recently your Prime Minister visited China.
Yes.
The last week your Energy Minister was in India, and now you are also in India. So how do you see these kind of developments that the Canada is approaching China, India?
Well, I think this moment in time was made for us. We've seen a significant shift in traditional trade partners around the world. Canada has been certainly engaged in renewing and refreshing relationships around the world. New Brunswick has been in India for years now. We've been working very hard at building relationships. As those traditional trade partnerships shift, we really want to build on what we have here. I'm here because we've seen success already. We want to grow that. We see India as the future. We see India as one of the massive opportunities that we want to explore, but we also see synergies for India in Canada. I mean, at what other place in the world could you pay your employees a salary where they can afford to buy a home that's 4 or 5 minutes away from their workplace? This is the type of opportunity that we have in New Brunswick, being able to raise a family, have a home, turn on a tap, be able to drink the water, have state-paid education and public health care. These are the type of opportunities that we want to be able to offer to Indian businesses wanting to get that foothold in North America.
So India has a huge human resources also,
Yes.
especially,
Absolutely.
the H1B is the most famous word currently in North America.
Yes.
So do you think that there will be an ample opportunity for the Indian professionals also?
Absolutely. So we've already seen a lot of collaboration, both on the post-secondary level, but also on the primary level in terms of educational exchanges. There's a huge Indian population that's growing in New Brunswick. And certainly our team is on the ground to assist in any way they can to ensure that we have that exchange and we're able to bring workers to New Brunswick.
We can see that how your Prime Minister is doing lots of things to rebuild the relationship between India and Canada. Otherwise, we saw that what happened last year. So how do you see that India-Canada relationship? Is it now have been reset, or do you think that lots have been to do?
Well, I'll speak to what New Brunswick has been doing. We've been really focused on that New Brunswick-India partnership for years now. Now that there's been a shift in that political situation and a refocus on the Canada-India relationship, we're leaning into that. I mean, we were there, and now we're supported by the national government. So we're really excited that we're able to lean into this change and be able to seize the opportunity that we've seen for years here in India.
India has become a point of discussion in terms of supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is talking
Yes,
that
absolutely.
India can play a very important role. Like how do you see, because that Canada has lots of natural resources,
Right.
the ample kind of resources you have. So like how India and Canada can work together.
So, I mean, one of the areas that we're already working together is we're feeding pulp into the supply chain here in India. So, it, we're seeing Canadian forest products already fed into the textile industry here in India. Similarly, we're seeing McCain take their products and feed it into the supply chain in India. So it's already happening. We're also seeing that around services. I think we're just taking a few steps in, though. I think there's more steps that we could be taking. There's so many more partnerships that we could be exploring, and that's what this trade mission is all about, is building on what's already happening. You know, we already have that supply chain in terms of forest products. We already have that supply chain exchange in terms of food products. We already are seeing that supply chain sharing in terms of services and ICT. We want to really drive that exchange. We have New Brunswick companies that are feeding into the Indian supply chain. I think of Greystone. They're feeding sensors into the building supply chain here in India. So I think there's just so many opportunities on both sides. It's not just India feeding into the Canadian supply chain, it's also the vice versa. And I think there's massive opportunities to explore that. And we've already started to set that tone. So I'm excited to see where we can go.
So other than Delhi, you have planned to visit some other country?
Absolutely. I'll be off to Bangalore here in just a few days. We have a presence there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had a presence there for several years now. So I'm excited to be able to explore Bangalore as well.
Since you are coming from Canada as an Indian, like when we both of us are talking, then obviously like there will be a discussion about your neighbor. Right?
Of course.
The interesting neighbor you have right now is the President Trump.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
The kind of statement he is making about Canada. Sometime he is declaring that Canada will be 51st state. Sometime his senior officials are meeting with some separatist group of Alberta. So how do you see as a Canadian politician?
Sure. As a Canadian politician, our province is the most export-dependent province in Canada. Most of our exports go to the United States. So certainly we're hearing that conversation. We've been seeing that America is less open to trade. So I see that as an opportunity. I see that as an opportunity for us to look to other markets and to look at growing markets. India is one of those markets. I think that a lot of the conversation is motivating us to explore new partnerships. This is a moment in time we can retreat, we can back into a corner, or we can move towards stable trade partners, seize the moment, and grow together.
I can see that you are very much focused about trade and economic development. So do you think that the statement made by President Trump, these are all only political and it will not affect Canadian economy?
You know what? I think that there is always an impact when there's a conversation around trade. But what I would say is that it's also an opportunity. You know, this is an opportunity for New Brunswick to say, okay, we've already been building in India. We're hearing that our largest trade partner is taking a step back from external trade. So that's an opportunity for us to say, okay, well, perhaps there's a greater opportunity somewhere else. How do we lean into that? So I'm really excited that we've laid that foundation so that when we've seen this political change, we're ready. We're ready to take a step into a massive emerging market. India has something that North America doesn't have. That's a young population. That's a massive middle class that's growing. There's an opportunity in India that I think exists nowhere else in the world. This is the largest population in the world in terms of nations. I think perhaps this wake-up call is just that. It's an opportunity to lean into an even larger market and what could be an even stronger partnership.
Minister, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
We wish a good stay in India, and you will have a great experience while staying in India.
Really, thank you so
much.
much. Thank you for the
Thank
interview.
you.